passage was written by Audrey Mottershead, née Broadhurst, in August 2024. My paternal grandparents, Grandma and Grandad Broadhurst, Martha and Thomas, lived in Hale Road, Ditton in 1901 in one of the cottages in this row. The children, Ernest, born 1902, Arthur Stanley, my dad, born 1904, and Edna, born 1908, were all born here. A fourth child, Dora, was born at Dundalk Lane, Ditton in 1913. Records show that Ernest married from Sunnyside, Dundalk Lane in 1926, Arthur Stanley married from 1 Dundalk Lane in 1929, and Dora married from 1 Dundalk Road in 1940. When I was young, Dundalk Lane, renamed Dundalk Road, had just a row of houses, but now, in 2024, Dundalk Road runs through to Widnes and has a school and lots of houses. My paternal grandad, Thomas Broadhurst, was a signalman at Hough Green Signal Box on the Loop Line. They moved to 111 Leith Avenue, Widnes, after 1940. Grandma Broadhurst was very deaf and had a hearing aid contraption that had a box dangling down in front with batteries. It very often made a horrible screeching noise that she couldn't hear, but we certainly could. After Grandad died, Grandma had her front door key on a string behind the letterbox. The family would pull the key out and open the door, and with Grandma being deaf, she wouldn't know you were there until she saw you. It's a wonder she didn't die of shock. My maternal Grandma and Grandad Griffiths were Esther, Jane and Alfred. When my mum, Alice, was born, she was going to be called Elizabeth, but when her dad went to register the birth, he passed a posh St Helens wedding of Alice somebody, and so instead of Elizabeth she was Alice. But the family and my dad, Stanley, called her Bet, a diminutive of Elizabeth. Her nieces and nephews called her Auntie Alice. When my maternal grandparents, Esther and Alfred, married in 1895, Alfred was a glassworker, but from 1900 he worked on the railway on the Widnes-St Helens line. They moved to 57 Foster Street, Widnes, between 1906 and 1911. Grandma Griffiths didn't put carpet on the stairs as she wanted to go back to St Helens. They moved to 4 Neal Street between 1916 and 1922. My mum and dad, Alice and Arthur Stanley, married in 1929. They lived with Grandma and Grandad Griffiths. Sid was born here on the 4th of the 2nd, 1932. They all moved to 76 Foster Street between 1932 and 1935. Derek was born here on 18th of the 8th, 1935, and I was born here on the 22nd of the 3rd, 1937. We moved to a newly built house, 36 Deirdre Avenue, in September 1937. Barbara was born here on the 3rd of the 6th, 1943. As Widnes was considered to be a likely target if war was declared, on the 1st of September 1939, 5,649 children and 1,751 adults left Widnes for the safety of Blackpool. 12 trains and 6 motor coaches took them. My mum, Sid, aged 7½, Derek, aged 5, and me, aged 2½, left by train with Sims Cross School Group from Appleton Station to St Helens and on to Blackpool. We walked up Palatine Road, a road of holiday boarding houses, and dropped off at each one. My mum was also told to look after another 4 boys, not known to Sid or Derek. I was crying and wanted to go home to my daddy, so on the day after war was declared, we went home by taxi. I don't know if Sid was baptised at Farnworth School or St Paul's, but Derek, myself and Barbara were baptised at St Paul's. All 4 of us went to Sunday school and were confirmed. Don and I married at St Paul's on the 6th of the 4th, 1957. Derek and Pat married at St Paul's on the 22nd of the 11th, 1958. Sid and Margaret married at St Anne's, Rainhill on the 2nd of the 4th, 1955. Barbara and Arnold married at St Andrew's, Cleveleys on the 18th of the 12th, 1965. All four of us went to Sims Cross School, a 10-minute walk, and then on to Wade Deacon Grammar School, a 10-minute walk the other way. Margaret went to the Wade Deacon from Rain Hill on a Widnes red and cream double-decker bus. Pat went to Wade Deacon from Penketh on a Crosville green double-decker bus to Widnes, and then on a bus to school, or on the train from Sankey to Farnworth Station. Don failed the scholarship even though he was nearly always top of the class. He went to Fairfield Secondary Modern School and was one of 5 boys who were the first to take the school certificate at Fairfield School. He passed and got an apprenticeship. Derek and Don went to the technical school while doing their apprenticeships, 2 nights and 1 day release from work. Sid went to Liverpool University. Sid, Derek and Don were in the St Paul's Boys Brigade. Barbara was in the Girl Guides. Derek and myself were in the youth club. Some more information about my mum and dad. Mum and dad also went to Sims Cross School. My dad went on to Widnes Secondary School that was changed to the Wade Deacon Grammar School when the new building was opened in 1931 in Birchfield Road. My dad worked at ICI at Western Point, and to get to work he would walk down Kingsway to the town hall opposite St Paul's, catch a bus to the transporter bridge, go across and then catch a bus to Western Point. He worked 3 shifts, 2:10, 10:8 and 8:2. If the transporter wasn't working or if it was too windy, he had to walk along the path next to the railway. When Mum, Sid, Derek and me returned from our short evacuation, a teenager, Celia from Ray Street next to Neil Street, came to stay overnight when Dad was on night shift. It was to help my mum with 3 children if we were bombed in the night. She didn't mind coming over as at home she slept in a double bed with her sisters top to toe. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 sisters. I don't know how long this went on for, but Widnes wasn't the target they thought it would be. I remember Celia joined the Wrens and came to see us in her uniform. The Broadhurst family were in Widnes from 1901 to 1958, and when I married Don in 1957 it was the last time the family were together, as Sid and Margaret were married and living away. I went down to Berkshire with Don after his Christmas leave for the last 6 months of national service in the Remy, and Derek went into lodgings until he married Pat. Mum, Dad and Barbara moved to 60 Green Drive, Cleveleys at Easter 1958.